there is the possibility of reducing the amount of time between what it is you put your attention on and having that materialize or show up in your physical world. And what I'm also suggesting is that there is within each and every one of us a capacity to be able to put our attention, our energy, our thoughts, whatever you want to call this invisible world, on what it is that we would like to create or manifest and have it show up in our lives. And in order to get to this place, we have to first of all banish the doubt that it's possible and shift from a belief system to a knowing. Now, a belief system is one in which everything that you walked into here this evening with is that you believe in. It's just a belief. Generally, it's something that has been handed to you by someone outside of yourself. So the tribe, whatever tribes that you showed up in, have taught you and testified and given their experience and told you this is what is possible, this is what is real, this is what reality is, this is your agreement with reality. And we buy into these belief systems, and we literally live by these things. But anything that anybody hands us from outside of ourselves comes tainted with doubt, even if it's just a smidgen of doubt, because it comes from the testimony or experience of others. So if somebody tells you something and says, look, this is swimming, and this is what it looks like, and that's water, and you can get into that water, and let me tell you all about it and give you the laws of buoyancy and balance and all of these kinds of things. And you say, yeah, that's great. And I believe that I can swim. But you don't know how to swim until you make conscious contact with swimming. And so shifting from a belief system to a knowing system is what I'm speaking about here. And most of the things that we believe we can do have been handed to us. The things that we know we can do, like ride a bicycle, dance, make love, dance the Macarena, make a lemon meringue pie, whatever, are because we've had conscious contact with it. But in the metaphysical realm, beyond the physical, where it's swimming and dancing and so on, we mostly just know about it. We haven't made conscious contact with it. And I'm suggesting that most of us have forfeited our ability to sort of oscillate or go back and forth between the world that we notice, the world that we see, this physical world of the material, and the source of it. The source. And the source of the physical world is not in the physical world. I think the best summary of quantum mechanics is from St. Paul. He said, that which is seen hath not come from that which doth appear. Another way of saying that is that particles themselves are not responsible for their own creation. That it takes something more than particles and the physical world to be able to create. And we don't know how to make conscious contact very often with that, because we have come through a series of beliefs to believe that God or creator or creation is something that is outside of us. We are not connected to it. We are separate from it. This is what the difference between ego, which is the physicalness that we're in, and the highest part of us, which is the part of us that is the observer, the witness, the noticer. So there's over here the world that we notice, and over here the noticer. In the Course in Miracles, one of the things that I do before I speak to an audience is I always go over that affirmation from the Course. It says, if you knew who walks beside you at all times on this path that you have chosen, you could never experience fear again. And when you know that, now knowing is conscious contact. Knowing is an absence of doubt. Knowing is what I am suggesting you have to go to. Independence from the good opinion of others and knowing. And you might ask yourself, what in the world does being independent of the good opinion of others have to do with manifesting? And that will become abundantly clear in a few moments. And also, this whole idea of being able to know. Because if you try to manifest and attract into your life what you want by staying over here in the world of the ego, particles themselves, which is what this world is about, cannot make themselves into more particles. They need spirit. And we have to figure out a way to make conscious contact with spirit. So what I suggest is that there is a method, there is a way to get past the belief system and into a knowing. The knowing that I'm speaking about, it is said when Jesus would approach a leper, he didn't approach the leper and say, we haven't been really having a lot of success with leprosy lately. In fact, given your conditions, you've got a 5-year life expectancy with a 30% chance of survival. There was none of this. You can see all of the doubt that is involved in this kind of an approach to healing. What Jesus would say is, you are healed, and healing would take place. Same with St. Francis. And I talked to a great kahuna in Hawaii 2 summers ago, who was at a talk that I was giving. And I asked him, how do you get to be a kahuna? Would you take Kahuna 101? And he said, kahunas are raised on knowing, not on doubt. And he said, when in the healing world, he said, when a knowing confronts a belief in a disease process, the knowing will always triumph. And we bring knowing to a disease process. Now, it takes an abandonment of tribal consciousness and all of the belief systems that you've had to let you get to a place where you are willing to say, I know that I can heal myself. I know that I can attract into my life what I would like.